Thank you for that introduction, Henry. But before we begin, I just want to do a really brief trivia question. I have $100 here for the first student that can name me a single team in the NBA. Just one team. Single team. Alright then. Well, I guess we'll get started with attitudes and behaviors. When it comes to the NBA, organizational commitment is something that you're not going to see a very strong relationship towards, but it's not necessarily the player's fault. Management is in charge of managing their rosters, and unfortunately when that comes to play, you have all these players being traded around, cut, reassigned to different teams to best put together the best possible roster for any given organization. So you see throughout the careers of players that they are going to be bouncing around city to city. But even with that said, job satisfaction is still through the roof. If you're getting paid millions of dollars to play basketball for your livelihood, and the only trade-off is you might not get as much playing time, you might be traded to different cities, you don't care. You're getting paid millions of dollars to play basketball. So that's just a dream come true. So satisfaction it's through the charts. And employee engagement is another one of those things which can be really high. But the cool thing about employee engagement is it's one of those self-perpetuating things, because if a player wants to stay on a roster and he wants to get paid the big bucks, he's going to have to be engaged with his organization. He's going to have to work hard. He's going to have to sell it. He's going to have to do everything he can to give his organization the best chance of winning with him on the court. Otherwise, he's just something that could just be tossed away. He's not worth what he's getting paid to the organization. So engagement is just going to take care of itself. But in order to get these big-time players to come play for your organization, it takes strategic talent marketing, management, and marketing, I guess. It's a big thing. You need to market yourself as an organization to get these players to want to come play for you. And the best way these teams could do that are with three things: contracts, culture and tradition, and location. A team can offer players more money to give them a higher incentive to come play with them, but money isn't everything. You see it all the time in the NBA. You want to be in a situation where you could play for a team with a winning tradition, a great culture in the locker room, such as the Los Angeles Lakers. There's a reason you have all these huge, high-name athletes who just riddle the Lakers history books of just superstar players who won championships with them. 16 to be exact, if we're counting. But if you're able to be a part of something that's meant to win, that's just used to win, that you have the best chance of historically winning another NBA championship, you're going to do that. And along with culture tradition, players are going to look for location. Would you rather be a young 20-something-year-old getting paid millions of dollars in Los Angeles, South Beach, Florida, or would you rather be living in like Minnesota or Detroit? Like, it's not really a hard decision when you're putting it in perspective that way. When you're looking at just the financial aspects of it, that's where compensation comes into play. The NBA is a performance-based league, and contracts reflect that. That's why you have these players such as Kobe Bryant getting paid these ridiculous max contracts. He just signed a 2-year extension for $48.5 million. But you have these huge players who demand that much money because that's what they're worth to these organizations. But not all contracts like that. The average contract in the NBA is $4,251,593 per year. That's still a lot of money. Like, I would take that any day of the week to go play basketball. Like, that's incredible. But the crazy thing is that's not even all the money they have available to them. Endorsement deals are something huge throughout the NBA. Nike alone in 2010 spent $3.8 billion in endorsement deals. And all these athletes are just able to go in there, and it's a free market for what they could grab up, what they're willing to try to pursue when it comes to different endorsements, whether it's Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, all that stuff. There's just tons of money out there. But even on top of that, they have the best health coverage possible, which is a huge addition to any NBA program or anyone who's looking to remain healthy, I guess. These guys' bodies are their livelihood. They go out there and their bodies are what's able to pay for the Ferraris, the fancy lifestyles, the lavish homes, all that stuff. So these teams are going to make sure they do everything they can to keep those bodies safe, which includes just top-line physicians, access to dental, vision for the players and their families. So that wraps us up here. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on and enjoy.